back, everybody. This is Tyler Weeb from Pro Physique. Today we're going to talk about a really cool study that just came out in the latest issue of Mass. So you've probably heard me talk about Mass a couple times before. They are a monthly subscription service that just reviews tons and tons of research, everything related to nutrition, strength training. They take out some of the best studies out of everything that they review and just put them into one subscription that you get every month. It's awesome. I highly recommend it. Go check them out if you have any interest whatsoever in any of those subjects. So this one was muscle memory. All right, so the idea of muscle memory has been around for a very long time, that if you train and then you stop training for a period of time, that the muscle is just going to remember, and that you are going to be able to kind of get those gains back quickly that you may have lost during the time that you took off. So, I mean, we all take off time for different reasons. Sometimes, it's nothing that we can really control, and life just gets busy, and, before we know it, training has taken a back seat, and it's been 4 or 5 weeks since we've been, or there's a bad injury that we have and we can only train maybe not as heavy, but we have to dial back the intensity and not train as heavy as we might like. So these things happen, and I understand that it's a very hard thing when that does happen, because we're always so worried about all the years and the months, just the hard work that we've put in for our gains, that we're gonna lose them all if we stop training. So especially with something like an injury or something like that, if we keep training through an injury because we're so scared of losing those gains, that we're actually going to hurt ourselves more. So this was a really cool study, and something that can actually probably de-stress us quite a bit when these things do crop up in our life. So this study was looking at muscle memory. What are some of the mechanisms behind muscle memory? And, is it something that really does exist? So what they did is they took a group of individuals. They had them train for 7 weeks in a progressive overload fashion, had them stop training for 7 weeks, and then retrain them on the exact same program for another 7 weeks. And what they found was actually really, really cool, is that, so they trained for 7 weeks, that throughout the 7 weeks of detraining, although that they lost some strength and some hypertrophy, the genes that are very important to hypertrophy actually stayed with them throughout the 7 weeks of detraining. All right, so a lot of, especially when we initially start training, if we've never really trained before, there is a lot of neural adaptation to the resistance training before, hypertrophy occurs. And so the body actually changes neurally when we train. And a lot of times, too, is even when we are at an advanced level, it is believed that a lot of the adaptations continue to become neural. So the genes that are responsible for those hypertrophic adaptations never really went away within the muscle during the 7 weeks of detraining. And so when they started training again, the neural pathways that are responsible, the neural genes that are responsible for the hypertrophy were already there. They never really got rid of them, per se. And so the muscle actually had, the memory that it remembered the training that they had done before. And so they didn't really have to go through that whole process again of, that neural adaptation, and getting the genes to adapt and change to the training. And so when you come back from a period of detraining, the gains that you had, you will have lost some of it, but it should come back quite quickly, and then surpassing, you can keep going. And so this is actually really just awesome important implications for when life does get busy, or we do have a bad, an injury that causes us to maybe not lift as heavy, is that we don't really need to worry too much about losing all of our gains and have to, keep beating our head against the wall and, working through that injury, or, really stressing about trying to find time for the gym when life does get busy. That, you can take time, either train, lighter intensity, or take time away from the gym, and it's going to be okay. You're not going to lose all your strength within at least 7 weeks. That we know of. I mean, there is potential for it to be longer, but we don't know yet. At least 7 weeks, you are going to be okay taking off, and you are going to be able to retrain and quickly get back to your previous levels of strength and hypertrophy. And so it's just a really cool study that, I mean, even, I have trouble taking time off from the gym when I go on vacation, and it's the same thing as, I'm scared that I'm going to lose everything that I've worked hard for, when in reality, it's going to be okay. You can take time away from the gym. It's probably going to be good for your mental health, for your stress that might be going on in your life, and you do not need to worry about losing all of your gains, because your muscles will have actually remembered the changes that occur with resistance training, and you're going to be fine. It might, take maybe a month or two to get back to where you were, but it's not going to be gone. You don't have to spend years getting back to where you were. So, really cool study. Definitely, guys, go check out Mass. It's awesome. Absolutely love it. It comes out once a month. It's great. Please hit the subscribe button. Really appreciate that. If you have any questions, comments, and just leave that down below. Have a great Tuesday, guys.